When we first moved here from San Diego, California, it took us a couple of years to find a church where we felt welcome. And one of the most important things to us, even though our daughter was already 7, actually 9 by the time we found St. Stephen's, we wanted a church that welcomed little children into the church, not out in the nursery or out in the narthex, but actually in for the service. And you not only had children, little children, babies, toddlers, preschoolers in church, but they also had activity bags available. So it was so nice to see the activity bags with coloring and little books and things in there for them. And that was the first thing that attracted us to St. Stephen. We saw all of the ways St. Stephen was helping in the community and welcoming everyone, not just into the church, but as part of the community with loaves and fishes, and with the ministry to host homeless families through Family Promise, and the Christmas tree where we were giving gifts to people in the community in need. And it was not just who's here is welcome, it's everyone in the community is part of the church, whether or not they're members of the church. And we just really loved that feeling of being involved in the community outside of church. The Mizzo Church, you actually welcome the Mizzo members in. They were looking for a church home where they could have their own services, and so St. Stephen opened the doors on Sunday afternoons and other days for them to do their group activities and for them to do their worships on Sunday afternoon. And after a few years, they were able to actually afford to have a building of their own. And I felt so proud to be part of St. Stephen, where we were giving small churches for immigrants to be able to come in and become their own church. And I just thought that was so awesome. And then they actually thanked us with a beautiful presentation of music when they were ready to move on to their new church. And I just thought that was so cool. And we're helped. One of the other things that I love about St. Stephen is that you are a learning church. We are growing new pastors, a new generation of seminary students, and we've trained 3 in the last 6 years because they do 2 years each. And that's been fun to watch them grow and see how they change from when they first come in to when they leave 2 years later, and you can just see the difference in how they bring their messages across. And one of the really important things to me is that you also involve the children in your messages. On Sunday morning, St. Stephen always would have a message for the children, and that's so much joy to see them go up to the front of the church and to answer your questions. And sometimes it just brightens the day when you hear some of the answers, like, one of them said something about loving tacos. We were talking about, who do you love? Tacos. And that had everybody laughing for a while. So just having that joy of seeing the youngest generation of children coming up, and to be in a church where young families, I've loved seeing younger families joining the church and having their children here and baptizing their children here. So it's wonderful that we have from the tiniest ones up to people who have been members of the church for over 40 years and are just such a part of St. Stephen. And it's nice to be part of that multi-general congregation as well.